It's your man Tony Redz, aka Mr. 24/7, right here, Washington D.C. man. Growing up in D.C., it's like it was a good cultural experience for me because I grew up in a many parts, so I was never in like one area. I was like southeast, northeast, northwest. Then I moved out Maryland, so I was able to get with a lot of different cliques and learn a lot about the culture of D.C. go-go. Even dancing was big back then, you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of people, beating your feet now and all that good stuff. Back then, you had breaking, all that kind of craziness. So I learned a lot about our culture in this city, you know what I mean? Well, I think go-go was very influential on me because you gotta think, when you're in a go-go band, you're on a stage for 45 minutes to an hour. And that taught you how to work a crowd, that taught you how to control a crowd, that taught you how to control your voice. Because back then, we had 5 or 6 shows a week. So, if you didn't properly train your voice, you can lose your voice. You know what I'm saying? So that just taught me how to, inflect on the mic and just work a crowd for a long periods of time. It was a wild story because back then they was doing a little contest where, back when Howard Homecoming used to be down at Howard. And so I was, hanging around Howard doing my thing, going to school there or whatever. And they was like, man, it's a radio station. I can't say the other radio station, but there's a radio station down there up against the wall, man. And they looking for somebody to rock the crowd. And they said if they find somebody to rock the crowd, they're going to give out a free internship. I was like, what? So I went on down there, got on the mic, and I was an MC at that time. So, it was nothing. So we rocked the crowd. And they was like, you know what? You on, you popping. Show up, da-da-da-da-da. And I showed up. And it wasn't the experience that I thought it was going to be. But you learn and it builds character. When I was doing these tours and things of that nature and doing signage on tours and stuff, and I would be in these other cities and putting up signage. When you go to that city, you would hear their artists. You would hear their music playing. Like I went to New York, I was hearing people I didn't hear when I was home. And they were like, oh, they from the Bronx, or they from X, Y, and Z. Then you went to Atlanta. You heard that music in Atlanta. You went to North Carolina, you heard that music in North Carolina. And when I would come home, I would hear everybody else's music but our music. And so I felt like if I had ever got a platform to do what I'm doing, that I would support my city. And this is unheard of what I'm doing here because radio is very, very fickle when it comes to playing unfamiliar music. And on top of that, you have to get artists to support you and your movement to get the ratings up. I tell people I'm a formula, they might use it, but just put it like this. I have a creative way of putting, our so-called local artists, because I call them artists. They're artists to me. Our local artists in with national artists and making it sound phenomenal, and you can't really tell. Okay, the importance that I give on the community, I think, back in the day I got myself into a bit of trouble, and I could have been, still sitting in a place where I don't need to be at right now. And it was somebody that helped me out, and they introduced me to the Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute, the Mayor Berry's Youth Leadership Institute, Mayor for Life. And they taught me a lot of qualities of who I am. They helped me find who I was, because at that time, when you're growing up in this city, you always was with a clique, or you try to get with a clique, or you try to be something that you're not. And so they helped me become a leader instead of an individual. And that's the one thing that we teach youth in our program, is being young leaders. I was able to do a black college tour. I did one of the most successful black college tours here in the city, where I took 25 kids on a historical black college tour, and 19 out of that 25 went to school. We reach kids where they at. So we use the music that they love, we use the turn up that they love, we use their attitudes and their sayings that they're talking about, and we put the message right in between it so they kind of get it. And then I add my entertainment element of artists, and I try to break the artists in the same aspect. So it's a twofold for me, because it's where I came from and it's what I'm doing. So people say, Dad, you doing this? Yeah, I'm doing this for my city. When I look at where I'm trying to go with this, I'm trying to be the one. If you look at the Greg Streets of Atlanta, you look at the DJ Dramas, and you look at, Cosmic Kev of Philly. If you look at them, when record labels are looking for artists or they're looking for the next talent, they go to those key people in that city and say, who got next? And they say, what? Meek Mill's got next in Philly. Whoever else got next in Atlanta. When they come here, I want to say, the Ant Glizzies, the HD Mikeys, the light shows, they got next. I want to be that one that they come to because I have my ear to the street and I represent my city. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I push so hard. Like, if we support each other, we got a movement, they will listen. I'm doing it. I'm pushing so hard. I'm making the other radio stations listen. You see what I'm saying? When you got the other stations listen and trying to mirror what you're doing, then you got the ear. You got the streets right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make the District of Columbia have a mark in the industry, not as go-go, but as hip-hop artists as well. I tell people, be humble and follow your craft. Like, perfect your craft. Feel like talent is only 10%. 90% is knowledge of what you do. Tony Redz 247 on everything. Yo, it's your man Tony Redz, aka Mr. 24/7. You're now rocking with Clout. Tune in, log on, do what you gotta do.